Hey, well, I was giving somebody a ride, and they were just talking about the signs and how I claim to be a dead god. And if you think my queen, a real god, and I can answer in your brain, but do we answer right away? Well, we answer when we have time. Prayer is a big thing, but the point is, the guy was like, well, what does that matter? And I was like, well, it doesn't really matter, because usually the problem is that they don't care if you're real or not. They don't want to think or say my queen, because they don't care if you're real or not. They want an excuse to get in the car and abuse everybody. And the people were really nice. They're like, you're right, everyone has a right to exist, because anyone can claim to be anything. So, like, I don't know. And they chalked it up and just kept talking. But this really cool thing happened. This god showed up and said, you know what's really sad, Bonnie? And I said, what? And he said, you know how coronavirus was supposed to only hit the worst enemies of God ever known, but it hit the whole world? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, you'd be amazed how many people are finding out that they are dead today because they just dismissed you like you were a fuck you nothing. And gods just don't want them to live anymore. And that's why they told you to post about you always want a miracle, you always want to be Mr. Amazon with all the businesses and all the money. But what the fuck when God and Jesus just walked the earth because they gave a shit? And all these gods are making sure that everybody dies like it's nothing and will never know a God, because all they do is treat you like shit and garbage and dismiss your existence. And that's the sad thing. I realized what he was saying. The United States raped and murdered me and made the world believe I was nothing because they were raping and murdering me, and they didn't want God to exist or a Jesus God reality to exist. And I guess they all participated enough that gods don't want them to live anymore. That's really sad stuff.